Have you ever wondered if a single year could literally change everything? Well, that's exactly what one astrological forecast, called Celestial Fire and Global Rebirth, is predicting for the year 2026. So today, we're going to dive into the cosmic shifts that this analysis says will reshape our world, our money, and maybe even our own lives.
Yeah, so we're not just talking about another flip of the calendar here. According to this source, 2026 is shaping up to be a fundamental global reset, a genuine end of an era, start of a new one, kind of reboot. We're not talking about small tweaks. This is described as a complete system overhaul. The original source even uses a great Turkish phrase for it, sil baştan, which literally means wiping the slate totally clean and starting over from scratch.
So what's driving this massive shift? Well, it all comes down to one powerful element: celestial fire. The astrological forecast for 2026 points to this really intense, high-energy atmosphere. And what that means is we can expect a year of incredible volatility. But on the flip side, also a year of some pretty unprecedented breakthroughs.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the cosmic mechanics behind all this. You've got the heavy hitters. We're talking Saturn and Neptune, both moving into the fiery, get-it-done sign of Aries. At the very same time, Uranus, the planet of sudden, revolutionary change, is shifting into communicative Gemini. Now, these planets are going to form some really powerful, tense angles to each other, basically charging up the global atmosphere. You can think of it like a guitar string pulled super taut. Even the tiniest pluck could cause a major vibration. And it's from that exact tension that new solutions are expected to emerge.
So where are we going to feel these tremors first? Well, the analysis points its finger right at global politics and the economy. It seems the old structures are really in for a shakeup, and this is predicted to build right across the entire globe.
The forecast actually details what it calls a geopolitical ring of fire. Over in the United States, there's a prediction of some serious internal turmoil right around the 4th of July. Jumping across the Atlantic, political instability is on the radar for the UK, France, and Germany. The analysis also suggests we're going to see tensions rising in the Balkans and the Aegean Sea, while some rebellious movements could flare up across the Middle East and North Africa. It really paints a picture of widespread global pressure.
And that pressure brings us right to a huge predicted economic shift. The old guard of finance, we're talking specifically about the dollar and the euro, are forecast to lose a lot of their influence and value. So if the old guard is shaky, where's the smart money supposed to go? The analysis points overwhelmingly towards precious metals. In fact, 2026 is being called the year of precious metals, with gold, silver, platinum, and even copper popping up as potential key safe haven assets.
Now, for anyone watching the markets, the year seems to have its own rhythm. Kicking off in the first half of the year, that's when silver is expected to show some really big opportunities. Then, as we move into February and through the summer, platinum, palladium, and copper are said to have some potential. But here's a word of caution for crypto investors. April is marked as a period of serious pressure for Bitcoin. And then finally, by the time we get to the end of the year, gold is predicted to step up and take center stage.
But it's not just about our big institutions, right? The impact of all this cosmic energy isn't stopping there. The forecast suggests the planet itself and our own well-being are going to be under some pretty significant pressure too.
So what does this pressure actually look like? Well, first up, we're looking at a heightened risk of seismic and volcanic activity, especially around January and August. The pressure is also on our resources. The analysis warns that this idea of water wars could become a stark reality as scarcity grows, which of course makes agriculture and food security a critical global issue. And on the health front, there are warnings about potential microbial outbreaks and illnesses that specifically affect the head.
But you know what they say, crisis often sparks opportunity. All this pressure on traditional resources is predicted to have a really powerful silver lining, a massive surge in investment and innovation in renewable energy. We can probably expect to see some major advancements in things like solar and wind power as the world is kind of forced to find more sustainable solutions.
Okay, let's bring all this down from the 30,000-foot global view right back down to you. The forecast also gives us a pretty detailed look at what 2026 might have in store for each of the zodiac signs. So let's see what might be in the stars for you.
For some of you, 2026 is described as a year for major professional and financial breakthroughs. So if you're a Gemini, get ready for some sudden and surprising opportunities popping up in all areas of your life. For Virgos, the focus is on a major career climb, finally leaving some recent relationship troubles in the rearview mirror. Sagittarius, you can expect a period of financial abundance, especially in the first 6 months.
And for Scorpios, you're all set to shine in your work and your travels, and your health should see a significant boost too. Now for others, the big focus is shifting to the heart and home. Cancers, this is forecast to be a very lucky year for you, with a big focus on building a home and a family. For those of you who are Libras, good fortune in marriage and partnerships is really highlighted, though you'll want to keep an eye on your finances later in the year. Capricorns, you're heading into a really great period for all kinds of collaborations and for marriage. And for Aquarius, the second half of 2026 is said to look exceptionally bright for all your relationships.
And for our final group of signs, 2026 is forecast to be a year of deep personal growth. Aries, with Saturn in your sign, this is your time to restructure your life and expect some brand new beginnings in health and family. Taurus, you'll be navigating some profound personal transformations while those financial shifts continue. For Leos, you'll find great support from your friends and your community, with new chances for travel. In Pisces, you can expect a year just brimming with love and creativity, but financial discipline is going to be key.
So after exploring all of this, the global tremors, the economic shifts, the personal forecasts, it all really boils down to one crucial question, doesn't it? In a year that's defined by celestial fire, how do you navigate all that heat without getting burned?
Well, the ultimate takeaway from this analysis is that the key isn't to resist the fire, but to learn how to work with it. The source concludes that the people who will really thrive are the ones who stay aware, who choose cooperation over conflict, and who have the courage to embrace the profound, transformative changes that 2026 is apparently set to bring.